So here to my left is the first attempt that I did at making this Joker. And it sucks. Let me tell you, this took me about, I think, 6 to 8 hours of sculpting. And then on top of that, I added the hair, I did some lighting, I did some rendering, and I thought, this is when I was a Jerry, bro. So I was a Jerry back then. And I thought that, oh, so I have this bad sculpt, and what's going to fix it is good lighting. Or is hair particles. But then you see that it still sucks. Over here on my right is my latest attempt on the same Joker, and you can see there's no hair particles, there's no skin textures. By the way, on this one I even UV unwrapped this and then painted this mask, but none of the case here, just a simple poly paint, nothing extra, and you see that it still looks fabulous. The problem is that most people, they focus on the details right here. Let me pin myself. Always on top. Yep. The problem is that most people, they focus on this cool stuff, the detailing part, because they think, okay, this is what makes or breaks a character. Okay, they add pores, they add hairs, they add textures, and all of these stuff on their shitty basis, and then they wonder why is it not working. That is because, bro, you are ignoring the fundamentals. You are ignoring the most important part, which is the base, the proportions, the block out. You know nothing about all of this, but you're focusing on all of the details here, and hence your likeness sculpts, they suck. How will you do likeness sculpts when you don't know about the basic things? So if you ignore this, of course your likeness sculpts will suck. Okay, and yeah, I will tell you exactly how you can fix this. And I'm not like the other creators who just give generic, hey, just practice more, bro. No, bro. I will give you actionable steps and with logical reasoning why things work and they don't work. And the way that I tell things, it offends a lot of people for some reason. It offends Jerry. And if you're offended, bro, just leave a comment, bro. It's gonna make my day. Okay. So let's move forward. And by the way, just in case you don't know me, my name is Ishaq, and I've been a mobile game 3D journalist for over 6 years. Here are all of the projects that I've worked on, not all of them, but most of them. And I've also been a top rated freelancer on Upwork all this time while I was still interested in learning how to sculpt. But it was extremely overwhelming. Anatomy threw me off. I bought courses, I bought tutorials, and sometimes I would get results with them, but when I would try things on my own, they won't work. And yeah, low poly, it was still a bit better, but when I wanted to make the characters that I wanted, they always sucked, and hence I was stuck for more than 6 years, bro. It was absolutely overwhelming. But now I make the characters that I'm proud of, and not only that, I help other people achieve similar results in as little as a few weeks. But you can see all of the results here. And in this video, I will tell you exactly all of the things that you need to do to improve your likeness sculpts. Okay, so make it full screen, watch it on 2x so that you can get through this faster. And just before we dive in, let me tell you, I'm working on something very, very exciting that will help the most passionate of you go from being stuck at tutorial hell to finally sculpting whatever you see confidently in 3 months or less. For more info, just join my free community. The link is in the description. And let's dive in. The number one problem why people struggle with likeness sculpts, or why you're probably struggling with likeness sculpts, is because you don't have a good base. Okay, so sculpting is like climbing a ladder. Literally, it's similar to climbing a ladder. So if I can draw it for you, here's a Jerry, doopty doopty doo, and he's like, bro, I don't want to climb the ladder. I don't want to climb it step by step, bro. I just want to jump from here to here. I just want to jump from here to here, bro. And then he ignores all of the steps that are required to sculpt. Okay, and this is because this is what a Jerry thinks, bro. This is what a Jerry thinks. Jerry thinks that one jump is less than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. So one jump is less than 5 steps, hence one jump should take less time. And this is the trap, bro. This is where I was stuck as well. This is when I was Jerry, when I showed you the bad Joker that I made, and this was my mindset back then as well. So I thought that, bro, why do I need to all this? I just need to focus on the pose and everything, and then I can sculpt those characters. Wrong. The reality is that in your attempt of making that one jump, and you thinking that you can save time that way, you spend more time over there than you would have spent climbing the ladder the right way. It is impossible for any person to jump from here, a Jerry to jump from here to here. It's not gonna work. And all of his attempt, it's gonna take longer than it's gonna take him to learn this, then this, then this, then this, and then this. So the most important problem is that you are ignoring the basics. It's similar to icing on a cake, bro. So if you have a shitty cake, no matter how expensive the icing, no matter how beautiful the decoration on that cake, it's still gonna be a bad cake. The same way it goes for sculpting. So if you suck at the basics, you don't know where to place the eyes, you don't know of the basic proportion of the face, how do you expect that something as good as a likeness sculpt is going to look nice? It's not going to look nice. You're just stuck at that shitty base. If you don't know how to block out the face, you don't know where to place the eyes. It's as simple as that. And even if you do place the eyes, they're not going to be in the right position. Then they're going to look bad. And even if you make the most beautiful eyes on a bad base that has bad proportions, it's not going to work. So the most important thing is that you learn sculpting step by step by focusing on the basics first, on the fundamentals first, on knowing about a bit about the facial structure first. And bro, you don't have to dive into it like a doctor. Like all of the advice that you get, the sternocleidomastoid, the zygomatic arch, the brachioradialis, I don't know, bro. Like all of these stupid terms. You're an artist, you're not a doctor. And if you need a step by step learning structure, you can check out my free 1 month head sculpting challenge. It's absolutely free, bro. It's step by step. It will guide you throughout in the same way that I'm showing here. It's absolutely step by step, bro. It's anti-medical, so I won't overwhelm you with bullshit terms because that was the biggest hurdle in my way. I won't overwhelm you with that. It's for beginners, and the best part, it is absolutely free. Here are all of the results that people who have attempted this 1 month challenge have gotten within a month. Okay, you'll be surprised by the amount of how quick you can learn when you discard all of the bullshit advice. Okay, so it's my gift to you. Okay, this is the first step to making good likeness sculpts, making your favorite characters. Now, step number 2. Once you have the basics solved, there's no point watching this. There's no point attempting this if you don't have the basics down. Okay, so focus on the basics first, and then this step is important. So I'm considering that you've mastered the base. Now, this is then. The second thing that people struggle with is because they don't have good references. Okay, this is what a Jerry does. This is what I did. So a Jerry, basically what he does is he goes to Google Images and then he searches character, I don't know, Henry Cavill Superman front, Henry Cavill Superman side, or in this case the Joker front side, and then he captures these references. The problem with these kind of references is that they are extremely inconsistent. They are inconsistent in the lighting, they are inconsistent with the expression. So what happens is that you're going to be following this front view, and then you see this front view, and then things don't match, and then you're like, oh, what do I do now? Which reference should I follow? Then this front view is different, and then the lighting, the way that is done, it's hard to read, because when there are dramatic shadows, it can distort the way that you see depth. Okay, and this is bad reference, and of course you will struggle with this. What's better is that, bro, you're living in 2026. Jerry, you're not Jerry, what are you, ancient? You're living in 2026, bro. Use AI. And when you use AI, you can generate references like this. Okay, and the good thing about this reference is, of course, you can see the lighting is consistent, the focal length is consistent, the expression is consistent. It's in a matcap view, so it's going to be easier to read the reference. And down here is the prompt that you can copy. So all you do is you just copy this prompt, whatever character you want to make, just change featuring the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix Joker. So featuring change whatever you want to, like Henry Cavill Superman, and you're going to get the references for him. Okay, so this is the prompt. All you have to do is go to Gemini. You already have a Google account, so go to Gemini, and then you go to create images, and then you use either the Pro or the thinking model, and just copy paste the prompt. This prompt took me so many iterations to find out, and bro, now the results are just beautiful. Okay, and come on, bro, just subscribe. I'm throwing so many golden nuggets to you. The cool thing about references, bro, is that it's always going to be about quality over the quantity of them. So you can have 100 references, 100 different angles with all different expressions and lighting, and it's gonna suck. Or you can just have one good reference which gives you everything that you need, and you can sculpt this without overwhelming yourself. Okay, so good references is key. Your sculpt is just a reflection of how good your reference and observation was. Okay, so always use reference. And finally, when you have a good base and you have good references, here's the third tip. So always look, sculpt. So look, sculpt. Okay, this is what I used to do. So what I used to do was, bro, I used to progress with my sculpt, and I would get lost. I would get in the zone, and I would be sculpting things that I think that I know, and then at the end I'm like, okay, bro, I think it's time to look at the reference. No. Okay, what you want to do is you look, make an observation, and then implement it in your sculpt. look, make an observation, and then implement it in your sculpt. This is how sculpting is done. The reference is there for you. So what a Jerry thinks that okay, I have good references, and now the sculpt is gonna take care of itself. It's gonna sculpt itself. No, bro. Finding the reference is like 5% of the work. Now you have to look and sculpt. Okay. Now seeing something. Now what happens is that when you're sculpting, you're sculpting things that you think that you know, the things that you think you have seen. It does not work that way. Seeing is not an indicator of how well you're going to sculpt, because we see faces every day. We see, I don't know, humans every day. And if seeing is just a metric on how good you're going to sculpt, everyone should be a sculptor, shouldn't they? It's not about seeing, it's about observing. And when you really start to observe people and faces, that is when you learn. So when you look at your reference, bro, you don't just see, observe, make an observation, and then implement it on your sculpt. Look, sculpt. Look, sculpt. And by the way, if you need my help with anything, if you're stuck, just book a call with me, bro. There's a link in the description, and we can talk about how we can work together and how I will help you escape tutorial hell to making the character that you always wanted to make. Okay? If you like this video, share, comment, subscribe, do the algorithm stuff. And here's a fist bump. Goodbye.